Welcome to the Investing Podcast presented by Tusk Media. The final bell has rung and the market is now closed. So let's move on to an audio and video recap with the Investing Happy Hour.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Investing Podcast. This is the Investing Happy Hour special. Greetings to our viewers on Periscope. Hey, Periscope viewers. We're glad you're here. All of you, especially you, Scotty. We really appreciate your work to be here in spirit, if not in body. We're glad you're here. The Periscope link, if you're watching the cut version of this podcast or listening to it, the Periscope link and the raw feed of it is going to be available for like the next 24 hours, something like that. I think that's how the technology works. That's what the kids tell me anyway, so if you want to check that out, it'll be on our Twitter feed. You can check that out right there at Tusk Media LLC, and it'll be great because you can watch it, and if you could line this video up right next to it or the audio, and if we ever come off the tracks, you know we messed up and we had to start over. So it's a great way to keep us honest. We want to be open and transparent during this process, so that's kind of what we're doing there. Let's jump in. Stock market. Up and away, folks. We've been talking about it all week. Strong day. Dow was up 73 basis points, so up to 18.5 for the Dow. Solid day. The S&P 500 was up 53 basis points, so a little more than 0.5%. It's all the way up to 2163 right now. This is the fourth consecutive day in which it's closed with a record high close. So I guess that's what happened is if you set a record and you do better the next day, you go up, it's a new record. And if you go up, it's another one. And if you do it a fourth time, it's another one. So we'll find out if we get a fifth consecutive day of records tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe we will. NASDAQ was up 57 basis points. Global Dow up 84 basis points. Gold down, as you might expect when everything else is up, about 0.75%. Oil rebounded a little bit today, up 1.6%. Closed at around $45.50 per barrel. So solid day for the markets all in all. Solid week for the most part. We do have one more day left, so let's make sure we don't jinx it. Knock on wood. Laggers. Couple companies really struggling. Southwestern Energy was down quite a bit. NRG Energy was not very energetic, as we say. WYNN was a big loser. That's WYNN Casinos. And DLR, Digital Realty, struggled today. A couple leaders. WMB, that's Williams Company, was up really nicely. MetLife was up a lot. Lincoln National. QRVO was up quite a bit despite not having a U after their Q. I think that's a big no-no. Is that still a rule? Maybe it doesn't apply to proper nouns, but I think you're supposed to always have a U after the Q. Austin, thoughts on that?
I think so. I think that's a basic rule of thumb.
It's classy, but QRVO, without a U there, still up like 4.7%. So solid day. Some news. We got a full show here today, people. Some news. Trump, he's got a VP, guy named Mike Pence. I don't know how many people called that. In some ways, though, he kind of makes sense. He's, I guess, sort of an obvious choice. I don't know. What's the obvious choice for Trump? There's no such thing, but he's maybe a logical choice if you can say Trump's ever made a logical choice about anything. He's kind of a middle American guy. He's a governor. He's got good state support. He's got experience in Washington, D.C. He was a rep from like 2000 to 2003, 13, something like that. It was like 12 years, so definitely more than 2000 to 2003 if you check my math on that. Probably the reason he seems most appropriate to be a Trump VP is that he once compared the Affordable Care Act, which we refer to as Obamacare, he compared that to 9/11, which is like something so Trumpy that even Trump couldn't do it. He actually trumped Trump before he was even Trump's VP. Yeah, he compared ACA, Obamacare, healthcare reform to September 11th and had to come out and actually apologize for it. It was a behind closed doors meeting setting, but word got out pretty quickly, which kind of happens when you say things that are absolutely insulting and ridiculous and make you sound like a lunatic. Word gets out. So he had to actually apologize for it. So that actually happened. So in that regard, yeah, I think he was the obvious choice for Trump all along. I don't know why we didn't peg this sooner. The Pokéfolio. If you go back and listen to our Pokemon podcast that went up on, I think it was Tuesday, started this whole feud with MarketWatch, all that good stuff. But the whole intention of it was to build a portfolio of 5 stocks that we thought would benefit from this new augmented reality game called Pokemon Go, where you walk around and you catch Pokemon. Pokéfolio is doing pretty well. Since Pokemon Go launched, it's now up 7.65%. Market's up 3.8. We tweeted this out. If you want to actually see the breakdown of that equal weight portfolio, check that out. We're going to keep monitoring it. And yeah, we're claiming victory thus far, but just know if all these 5 stocks crash next week, guess what? We're going to update you anyway because that's what we believe in. Emmy Awards. Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. 23 Emmy Award nominations for Game of Thrones. I honestly didn't know there were 23 different Emmy Awards to begin with. Just running through the list, Best Dramatic Series, makes sense. Best Lead Actor in an Incest Scene, makes sense. Best Lead Actress in an Incest Scene. Great achievement, outstanding achievement in incest. So Game of Thrones really racking up those awards. I don't watch that show. Lots of weird brother-sister dynamics there. Not my kind of thing. Lots of dragons. I don't understand how people like this, but apparently they do. Go play Pokemon, people. It's way more fun. MarketWatch watch. Big developments today. Really big developments. Third time we've declared war. First time we've actually gotten some shots fired back. And we're already hearing about a desired peace treaty. So MarketWatch has offered up one of their authors, a guy named Cody Willard. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody Willard. I think that's his handle. If it's not, you go follow whoever that is and I'll get you a better handle next time. I'm pretty sure he's at Cody Willard though. He's coming on the podcast. He's going to talk a little bit about Pokemon Go. We're going to see if he's actually been playing. If he has been playing, what's his best Pokemon? How does he feel about this whole Pokemon gym scenario? What are some of his favorite hot Pokestops? Find out what level of a trainer he is, all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to get into his investing background because it is way, way, way more sophisticated than anything we got going on. He's a legitimate investor, which we are as well, to be clear. We do that most of the time. We're not always talking about Pokemon. But he's a legitimate investor. He's got quite a track record in terms of achievement, both on the investing side as well as the media side. So I think it's going to be a great conversation. We're hoping to get that thing up Tuesday or Wednesday for you guys. But again, we're recording that Monday. Tweet at him, yo, at Cody Willard. Glad you're coming on the Investing Podcast. He's normally like getting interviewed by people like Jay Leno and stuff. So I think he'll feel a little more comfortable about this daunting crowd if you guys show him some love early on. This has been the Investing Podcast. Good full day of content, I feel like. Hit all 3 today. That's always a good thing. This has been the Investing Happy Hour. We will be back tomorrow. It's Friday. We're going to hit you in the morning. We're going to hit you around lunchtime. And unless something goes really wrong, we're not going to hit you for the Investing Happy Hour because we're going to actually enjoy happy hour. Y'all have a great night. Talk to you soon.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are our professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.